you to know what your paperwork and your back office looks like. We want you to know your product, your company, and one thing you can rest assured, MCA is a trusted name and has been since 1926. MCA is owned by our parent company, which is TVC Marketing. They've been around since 1987. The owner of our company is Mr. Virgil Coffey. It is a sole-owned company. It's not a corporation that has shares of stock, so we aren't controlled by a bunch of people who've never done sales. Mr. Coffey has a long-term sales background as well as writing marketing plans and doing some other marketing things, so he understands where we get our money, and that's why he pays us so well. But TVC and their partnerships purchased Motor Club of America in 2000 along with the existing membership base. They refined it and launched it again in October 2011 with the marketing plan that we have today. It's located in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, and we serve the United States, Canada, and Puerto Rico. As soon as you got your membership, you were emailed, and it may be in your junk or your spam. Be sure you look for something from TVC Marketing Associates. Mr. David Kircher is the president of Motor Club, and you would have gotten a form that says Independent Associate Agreement. You'll want to make sure that you complete the information on the front side only, so just fill in the top portion where it says New Associate Information. If your shipping address is different than your mailing address, be sure you give us that information. And on your Sponsor Recruiting Associate, if you don't know who that is, you'll be able to find that on the website you went to enroll. And I'll show you how it's going to show up for the person that you sponsor here in just a few minutes. At the bottom left-hand side, it says Associate. You're going to want to date and sign that form. So here where it says Sponsor Recruiting Associate, whenever you go to the website, whoever sent the link to you, it's going to say tvcmatrix.com/username. As soon as you go there, it's going to give you that information. As a member, you don't actually have to log in to get it. So it's going to tell you exactly who your sponsor is. So it's going to show up with the if you've selected a username and you want to go through there, you can do that. But once you go on there, it's going to give the username and the account number. So if you need to get back in touch with the person who sent you that link, or if you want to go to their link, you're going to see their username and their password. Okay, that's the information that you would put in there. If you have no clue what it is, one way the company can always identify who your sponsor is to put either their phone number, sometimes their email address, not always. So if you've got a phone number, that works best. Again, always make sure you sign it at the bottom. This little tax form, unfortunately, the IRS wants to know where we're at, what we're doing. And since the corporation has you as an independent contractor, which means you work for yourself, you are responsible for paying your own taxes, so you want to make sure you fill out this form and get it back in, because they do have to notify the Internal Revenue Service how much money they pay you each year. So you're going to want to make sure you fill out your name, your address, mark if you're an individual person or if you're working as a corporation or a partnership where you've signed and have all the legal documents to back it up. But you can do individual sole proprietor, limited liability, corporations, S Corp, C Corps, partnerships, whatever. So just make sure that you check the right box, put in your mailing address, and then the list of account numbers, if it's appropriate. You don't need to worry about that if you're an independent or an individual sole proprietor. Okay, the tax identification number, if you do not have a corporation set up through the state or through a different state, then that's always your Social Security number. If you have a corporation, just be aware that the office is going to need all your corporate papers to show that it is in legal standing in the state that you're in. It's going to ask for the employer identification number, which is a little bit different than your Social Security number, so they don't need both, just one or the other depending on how you're doing your business. And then where it says sign here in the middle of the page and date it, you're going to want to make sure you do that and get it into to the home office as well. With your 1995 or greater membership, there is an accidental death and dismemberment plan. Be sure that you fill this out, send that in with your paperwork for it to be in effect. They do have to have the file on the form on file in the home office. Make sure you check your selection, whether it's option A, option B, or option C. So that tells you what the options are and how they work. Direct deposit, this is probably the most important form that you can get back into us right away, because this is how you get paid. The company uses direct deposit into a bank or a credit union, so it can either be a savings account or a checking account. They will have to have some way to pay you. If you live in Canada, you're going to need to call the home office and make special arrangements, because they don't have direct deposit to the banks in Canada.